Tonight, we journey to the rolling blue waters of the ancient sea, a tale of a man who tried to run from God's call and the great fish that waited in the depths. Before we begin, make yourself comfortable, let the day's worries drift far away, and before you get too cozy, if you truly enjoy these peaceful stories, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and tell me in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. Long ago, in a busy port city under the warmth of the desert sun, lived a man named Jonah. Jonah was a prophet, someone who heard God's voice and spoke his words to the people. One day, the Lord gave Jonah a mission. "Go to Nineveh," God said, "for their wickedness has come up before me." Nineveh was a powerful city, but it was also known for cruelty and violence. Jonah's heart filled with fear and maybe even resentment. He didn't want to warn them. He didn't want them to be saved. So, Jonah decided to run. Instead of heading toward Nineveh, Jonah walked down to the harbor and found a ship bound for Tarshish, the opposite direction. The salty air stung his face as he paid his fare and boarded the wooden vessel. The creak of ropes, the groan of the hull, and the cry of seagulls followed him out to sea. Jonah believed that if he could get far enough away, perhaps God would leave him be. But the sea is never too wide for God's reach. Soon, dark clouds began to gather. The wind rose, tearing at the sails. Waves swelled like great green mountains, slamming against the ship's sides. Sailors shouted over the roar of the water, tossing cargo into the sea to lighten the load. Fear gripped every man. They each cried out to their gods, but the storm only grew worse. Jonah knew the truth. He stepped forward and told them, "This storm is because of me. I have fled from the Lord." The sailors stared at him in disbelief. "What must we do to make the sea calm again?" they asked. Jonah's voice was steady. "Throw me into the sea and it will grow calm." The sailors hesitated, but the waves grew even more violent. Finally, with heavy hearts, they lifted Jonah and cast him into the foaming waters. The moment Jonah's body hit the sea, the wind died down. The waves grew still. The sailors' fear turned to awe, and they offered sacrifices to the Lord. But Jonah sank into the deep. Cold water closed around him. Seaweed tangled around his head. Darkness pressed from all sides. Then, a shadow moved beneath him, a massive shape, silent, powerful. The great fish opened its mouth and Jonah was swallowed whole. Inside there was no light, only the slow rhythm of water and the deep echo of the creature's heart. Jonah was alive, but utterly alone in the belly of the fish. For 3 days and nights, Jonah sat in that living darkness. He prayed to the Lord from the depths. He confessed his disobedience. He thanked God for sparing his life, and he promised to fulfill the mission he had once tried to flee. His prayer rose like incense through the waters, and God heard. On the 3rd day, the great fish swam toward the shore. With a mighty heave, it released Jonah onto dry land. The prophet lay on the sand, the roar of waves in his ears, sunlight warm on his face. He was free. This time, when God's voice came again, "Go to Nineveh," Jonah did not run. He walked the long road to the city and proclaimed God's warning. And to his astonishment, the people listened. They turned from their wicked ways, and God showed mercy. And so, the man who ran from God's call learned that his mercy stretches farther than the sea, deeper than the waves, and even into the belly of a great fish. Thank you for listening tonight. If this story brought you peace, I hope you'll subscribe so we can journey together again into the timeless pages of the Bible. Good night.